My wife once made a very bold claim. She told me she could find someone brand new to take my place in just 24 hours. Her words were sharp, and she looked so sure of herself when she said it. But when I answered her with a very quiet and steady voice, the whole room went completely silent. For the first time in our life together, she looked really worried and shaken by what she had just said to me. I never thought a simple talk in our living room could change everything about how we treat each other and how our marriage worked. My wife's name is Rachel. She always had a way of saying things that could make a person feel very small. Her words were like little knives that would cut right through how I felt about myself and my own confidence. That night, she did something I never thought she would ever do. We were just sitting there in our home in Boise, Idaho. The air conditioner was making a soft humming sound that filled the quiet space between us. I was reading a book and listening to the news on the television. Then, out of nowhere, she said something that really shocked me. If I wanted to, I could have someone brand new in my life within 24 hours, she said. She tried to make it sound like a little joke, but her eyes were watching me very closely to see if I would get upset. She leaned back in her chair and crossed her legs, and she had a little smile on her face like she had won a game. I did not move. I did not even look up from the pages of my book. Rachel loved to see people react. She liked it when people got angry or scared or jealous. But I had learned a long time ago that giving her what she wanted only made things worse. It was like putting wood on a fire. I slowly closed my book. The sound of the cover hitting the pages was loud in the quiet room. "Is that so?" I asked her. My voice was very calm. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't mean. I was just steady. It is the kind of quiet that makes people feel nervous because they expect you to be upset. Rachel blinked her eyes. She looked surprised. She thought I would be mad or say something mean back to her. Instead, I gave her nothing. She leaned forward and put her arms on her knees. Her little smile started to go away. "You are not taking this seriously," she said, and she sounded like she couldn't believe it. I looked at her then. I really looked into her eyes. I saw that she was trying to be brave, but she was also feeling very unsure of herself. "I am taking it seriously," I told her in a soft voice. And yet, I did not feel scared at all. "Go ahead and try. See what happens." Rachel laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. It sounded a bit shaky. "You think I am just talking? You think I am lying?" she asked. Her voice was wobbling just a little bit. That was the exact moment I knew things were different now. For many years, she was the one who decided how our marriage worked. She did this by being tricky and making little jokes that were meant to make me feel bad. But that night, the power shifted. I did not have to scream. I did not have to make any threats. I just stayed strong and quiet. I was like a mirror, showing her how she was acting. I could see her brain working fast. She was trying to figure out what to do next. She did not think I could be this patient or this strong. I realized something very important right then. When you are calm and you do not let people push your buttons, you are much stronger than anyone who is trying to start a fight. Rachel started to move around in her seat. She could not sit still. "So what? Are you just going to sit there and let me talk to you like that?" she asked, trying to start a challenge. I shook my head very slowly. "I am not letting you do anything, Rachel. I am just watching." She looked even more confused. Watching was not something she understood. She was used to people getting mad right away or giving up, but I was not playing that game anymore. I was making my own rules. She leaned back again and put her arms across her chest. We sat in silence for a minute. Then she asked a question like she didn't really want to. "And if I did do it, what would happen then? If you were gone tomorrow, would you even care?" I thought about what she asked very carefully. I was not scared of the question. I just wanted to give her the right answer. "I would care. Of course I would," I said while looking right into her eyes. "But I would not care in the way you think. I care about being a good person. I care about the truth. I care about respect. Those are things that nobody can just go out and buy or find in a day." Her smile was completely gone now. She looked very doubtful. "Being a good person? Respect?" she repeated. She sounded like she didn't believe me. "I am talking about someone who can love me and be with me. Someone who can make me laugh and—" I stopped her very gently. I was still being very calm. "Rachel, Love is not something you just buy at a store. It is not like a deal where you can just swap one person for another on a schedule. What you are calling a replacement is just a dream. It isn't real life. I could see her thinking about this. Her eyes got a little small, like she was frustrated, but also curious. She had never seen me act this way before. For a long time, our fights were always the same. She would say something upset me. I would get upset, and then she would feel like she won. But now, I had broken that cycle. I did it just by staying steady and refusing to get mad. Rachel let out a tiny sigh. You could barely hear it. For a moment, she didn't say a word. That quiet felt louder than any shouting match we ever had. She was trying to find her footing in a talk she didn't plan for. Her mind was moving fast, realizing that her old tricks didn't work anymore. In that quiet room, I felt a strange peace. I hadn't yelled at her. I didn't beg her to stay. I wasn't hurt or angry. I was just me, and it turned out that being myself was enough to make her feel very unsettled. Fine, she finally said, almost like she was talking to herself. Maybe I did not realize how strong you were. Her words were very careful. But in that moment, she was admitting that things had changed. I just nodded. I did not try to act like a winner. I did not tease her. I just let her words sit there. I knew this was not the end of everything. Rachel liked to test people to see where they would break. But I also knew something very big. When a person's power comes from making other people get mad, if you stop getting mad, they lose their power. For the first time in our whole marriage, I felt like I was the one in charge of myself. I was not using force. I was just being there, using calm words and feeling sure of who I am. Rachel looked at me with a lot of different feelings in her eyes. She looked curious and frustrated, and maybe even a little bit like she liked what she saw, though she would never say that out loud. She leaned forward and put her hand under her chin. She was looking at me like she was trying to read a book in a language she didn't know. You really did not feel scared? She asked very quietly. I shook my head. Not even a little bit. I said, you can try to find someone else, and you can talk about it, but my own sense of who I am does not depend on you proving things to me. And the truth about our marriage does not depend on that either. She pressed her lips together. You are calm. You are too calm, she whispered. That is when I learned something very important. People often think being calm means you are weak. But being calm is actually a very powerful tool. It shows that you have control over yourself. It shows you are patient and that you will not let people pull your strings. I had to learn this the hard way. I spent years living with stress and fighting in games. I decided I was done with that. I am not here to prove anything to you, I said softly. And I am not going to sit here and watch you try to prove things to me. If you think love is a race to see who can find someone new first, then you don't know what love is. Love isn't about speed. It is about how deep it goes. It is about understanding each other. It is about trusting each other. I could see her thinking about every single word I said. The look on her face changed from a smirk to a thoughtful frown. She moved in her chair again because she was feeling uncomfortable. I did not need to say anything more. The silence was doing all the work. It was in that quiet time that the truth finally sat down between us. It was like dust in the sunlight. You could not miss it. Rachel always liked big emotions and chaos, but she could not get that from me tonight. Finally, she spoke again. Her voice was much lower and it sounded softer. Maybe I did not see how much you value yourself. Maybe I did not see that I do not control you. She said it very quickly, hiding it under her pride, but she said it. That was enough for me. That one little moment was the start of a whole new way of being together. The game was over and I had won. I did not win by being mean or planning a trick. I won by just standing my ground and staying calm. I smiled at her, not because I was happy she lost, but because I felt sure. Marriage is not about one person controlling the other, Rachel. It is about understanding. It is about knowing how much the people in your life are worth. It is about knowing your own worth and the worth of those around you. If we want to keep going, we have to respect each other. We have to be clear and honest. Anything else is just acting. She nodded her head very slowly. She was still thinking about what I said. The room felt different now. It was not tense or angry. It felt like we both finally saw each other for who we really were. That night, I went to sleep without a fight. I did not feel that burning anger that I usually felt. I felt at peace. I felt like I had my life back. Rachel tried to be the boss, but she met someone who would not play her games. She met someone who knows that being strong means being quiet and patient. Power is not about who can leave first. Power is knowing that you are okay no matter what. By staying calm and not let her shake me, I realized something. I did not have to prove she was wrong. I just had to be right within myself. I showed her that respect and patience are stronger than any boast or any threat. And Rachel finally understood that and changed. You see, when we stop trying to win by being loud, we win by being solid. Life isn't about who gets the last word in a loud way. It is about who can stay soft in a hard world. I think about that night a lot. I think about the Boise air and the sound of that AC. It was a night I learned that my own peace was more important than winning a fight. And because I found that peace, my wife found a reason to stop fighting too. We learned that a real home is not a place where you have to watch your back. It is a place where you can be quiet, and the person sitting across from you knows exactly what that quiet means. It means love, and it means we are both enough just as we are. No one needs a replacement when they finally see the real value in what they already have right in front of them. That was the day I stopped being a person who reacted and started being a person who just lived. And it made all the difference in the world.